first one we're going to start with is Cathedral Glass, and that's so named because it was the kind of glass used about 1,000 years ago when stained glass was first introduced to cathedrals. It's generally a clear, one-color piece of glass. We have two examples of it here, a nice little orange piece and a blue piece. All right, next we're going to talk about opalescent glass. Opalescent glass is generally milky and is most likely either one color, like this, which is all white, or multiple colors. And this can be used in projects where you want to have a single color, but you don't want it to seem too plain. It might add a little bit of a streak. For instance, this green here actually has a little bit of a color variation in it, and that will add a little bit more to your project. All right, now we're going to talk about translucent glass. Translucent glass diffuses light so that you can't see any distinct features. For instance, if I hold this up and put my hand behind it, you'll see that you can maybe see it as a shadow, but no really distinct features. Streaky glass is made from mixing together two colors of glass, generally both opalescent. The streaks produce another dimension and create a sort of artistic impression of an object. For instance, this would look excellent as a tree, where one particular type of opalescent color would look flat. With two, it gives it a bit of a dimension. Baroque glass is unique in that it has a heavy surface texture and lots of swirls throughout it. It's usually a dark opalescent color mixed with a light cathedral glass and can easily be used for backgrounds where you really want to see a little distortion but not too much. Wispy glass is made from stirring together two different colors of glass. Generally, one of them is opalescent and the other basically a cathedral type of glass. Seedy glass is a texture that's applied to cathedral glass by introducing bubbles into the glass during the manufacturing process. The reason it's called seedy glass is it actually looks like seeds are trapped in it, such as seeds in a bread, like a rye bread. Waterglass, which is actually a term which is a registered trademark of the Spectrum Glass Company, is glass that has a ripple effect to make it look like it is shimmering on water, maybe like water gently blown by a breeze. There are many different types of textured glass. Some have just a small amount of texture, such as this, or maybe looking wispy but with one single color, and then others have a very deep amount of texture in them that can cause a little bit of a difficulty when cutting. So always make sure that you decide which side you want to cut on, and usually that would be the smoother side. Granite glass and hammered glass are very similar. Generally, granite glass will have a bit more texture. This would be considered granite, and this would be considered a type of hammered glass. And they are usually made of clear glass with sort of bump patterns on the surface. It creates a sort of light distortion and diffusion and can easily add a lot to a project. Iridescent glass is unusual in that it's not really an actual texture on the glass, rather it's a finish that's applied, usually a film that's applied after the glass has been created. For instance, if you look at this red piece, if you turn it over on the other side, there is no iridescence because the film was applied to just one side. It does create sort of a fascinating rainbow effect and can add quite a new dimension to any piece you're working on.